Congress's fight against Election Commission escalates. Congress now warns of more bombs. MP Jairam Ramesh warns of plutonium bombs against the Election Commission. Swami Chaitanyananda, manager of an ashram in southwest Delhi, booked for allegedly sexually harassing female students, is now on the run, last track to Agra. Supreme Court bar body writes to Chief Justice of India over judicial appointments, seeks reform, cites underrepresentation of women. Big win for Centre as Karnataka High Court upholds constitutional validity of Centre's Sahyog portal. Karnataka High Court says the Platform X's plea is meritless since they are not Indian citizens and cannot invoke infringement of Article 19. US President targets India, China over Russian oil purchases, accuses both nations of funding Ukraine war. Amid the Delhi ashram molestation investigation, police have now issued a lookout circular against self-styled godman Baba Chaitanyanand to prevent him from fleeing from the country. Accused Baba is believed to be in Agra, that was where he was last tracked. He has also filed an anticipatory bail in this particular case in the Delhi High Court. He later withdrew it himself. The Delhi police has now recorded the statements of at least 3 female wardens from this institute as WhatsApp chats brought forth the role of these wardens in facilitating this molestation racket that the self-styled godman seems to be running. The Delhi police has also recovered number plates that were used by the accused in the Delhi ashram that he was using at. The police have revealed that the self-styled godman has 2 prior cases against him. One was filed in 2009 for fraud and molestation in Defence Colony in the national capital, and the other case was filed in Vasant Kunj in 2016. A fresh FIR was filed by a student that reported harassment. During the investigation, there were at least 32 female students that recorded their statements before the police, and 17 students alleged verbal abuse, unwarranted physical contact and exposure to obscene videos by the self-styled godman.
A shocking case has come in from the national capital where more than 15 women students have gone ahead and alleged that the head of their institute had gone ahead and sexually, physically and verbally assaulted them. This entire case has come in from the national capital, from the Vasant Kunj area, where this institute, the Sri Sim Institute, that is Sri Ram Institute of Studies of Indian Management, has been found under the dog at this point in time. The head of this entire institute, which is run by a mutt, is Swami Chaitanyanand. According to the investigation that has been done till now, Swami Chaitanyanand, who is said to be the head and was running this entire institute, went ahead and physically and mentally assaulted and harassed more than 15 girl students who were studying over here in the PGDM course. The entire case came to the fore on the 4th of August when one of the administrators of the same institute went ahead and filed a police complaint, post which an investigation was launched, and then on the 9th of August an official FIR was launched in which the statements of at least 32 women were taken. Out of these, 17 women claimed that yes, they were being assaulted, they were being physically and mentally harassed. The head, Swami Chinmanan, alias Dr. Partha Sarthi, was the person who has been accused of this entire crime. In fact, in the statements they have gone ahead and said that there were at least 3 women staff members who were also involved in building pressure on these girl students, on these women students, to go ahead and abide by the demands of the said preacher. Now, post this FIR was registered, the institute has launched an official statement in which they have very clearly stated that any relation that is there with the said accused, any relation that the institution had with this said accused is now severed, and there are no contacts that has been established between them.
So no contact established with the self-styled godman. His whereabouts are unknown, but he was last tracked to Agra, which is why a lookout circular has been issued by the Delhi police. But what exactly has the probe revealed so far? This is what the police have found, that the self-styled godman used to summon these students, these girl students, to his room at odd hours, that the self-styled godman sought sexual favors from these students, most of whom belong to the economically weaker sections. There were certain wardens that facilitated this entire racket. They were the ones that sent these female students to his room. 3 of those wardens are also now under the lens of the police. This Baba, the self-styled godman, threatened these students to fail them if they didn't listen to what he asked them to. There are messages from these students' phones that were deleted by the wardens, is what these students or these victims have now told the police when their statement was recorded, that there were several sleazy WhatsApp chats that were there on their phone, but they were made to delete it. What they've also found is that there are statements of at least 32 students that have been recorded so far, out of which 17 students who used to study in this particular ashram have claimed to have faced abusive language, forced physical contact by the self-styled godman. They said that this was unwanted physical advances, and when they tried to stop it, they were threatened with action. They were threatened into silence, is what some of them have also told the Delhi police. In fact, the Delhi police has also gone on to say that the CCTV footage from this ashram has now been deleted, so there is no trace or there is no evidence to corroborate what these victims have been saying. But a case has been registered, and since there are at least 17 of them that have made similar allegations, the case against this self-styled godman is believed to be watertight at the moment. So what are these allegations that have been made against this particular self-styled godman is that he molested at least 15 girls in this Vasant Kunj institute that he was running. It was meant to be an institute for economically weaker students, especially girls, that there was verbal abuse that was meted out to these students, that there were obscene videos that some of these students were also shown. That is what these students have now told the Delhi police, that there was unwarranted physical contact with the female students that has been alleged. That is what he is under the radar for, that women faculty forced these students to comply with the demands that the self-styled godman was making, which is why at least 3 wardens at their institute are now under the Delhi police's scanner. Another allegation that he faces is that he possessed a luxury car with a fake UN number plate. It's a blue number plate which usually is used by diplomats here in the national capital. One of the cars that was found at this ashram that belongs to this self-styled godman has one such number plate. How did he procure that? That's something that is under investigation as well. Anshul, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details on this. Anshul, the last we heard is that the self-styled godman is still on the run. He was last tracked to Agra. Any progress from there for the police?
So yes, the police even at this point in time has not been able to trace Swami Chaitanyanand down at this point. They continue to maintain that several teams have already been formed, which have been already sent to different parts of the country. Much like a team has been sent to Uttarakhand, another team has been sent to Uttar Pradesh, where other team has been sent to Bihar, and another one to Odisha, which is the hometown of Swami Chaitanyanand. Now in this entire investigation, the police has been able to find out that the said Baba is not using any sort of phones that is with him at this point. Initially, after returning from London, remember when this FIR was registered over here on the 4th of August, Swami Chaitanyanand was not out here in India. He was in London, and then eventually he returned from London back to India, and since then he has constantly been changing his location, and now he has done away with his phone as well, because he knew that his phone is something through which he could be traced, and he is still trying to elope from the grasp of the Delhi police, and that is the reason why it is becoming a massive headache for the Delhi police to go ahead and trace and track down Swami Chaitanyanand and bring him back to the national capital. At this point in time, the search operations are on in multiple states, but the manner in which this entire nexus was brewing up, in fact, the police is now suspecting that there could be a larger nexus that could be at play over here. It is not only about the molestation of students who were studying over here, but there could be a massive forgery racket that could have also been run from this institute itself, because remember, 10 international number plates or diplomatic number plates have been recovered. From where did the accused acquire these number plates? What was he using these number plates for? What was his entire intention? What was his purpose? All these questions have still not been answered from the side of the Delhi police, and they are still hopeful that as soon as Swami Chaitanyanand will be arrested, all these answers will come to the fore. Remember, at this point in time, the case that has been registered, the case has not been registered of rape. In fact, the case is of molestation at this point in time, which is yet again a bailable offence in front of the eyes of the laws as well. So definitely it is going to be a very uphill task for the Delhi police to initially arrest the accused and then make sure that he stays behind the bars pending investigation, because he is one person, and the chair that he is enjoying and the respect that he enjoys he is one person who can actually tamper with the evidences, who could actually go ahead and threaten the victims as well. And that is the reason why every passing minute and every passing hour that he manages to stay away from the grasp of Delhi police, the entire case is becoming even more difficult for the Delhi police to crack. It remains to be seen how quickly can the Delhi police can go ahead and arrest the main accused, that is Swami Chaitanyanan, and then post that all these three wardens whose statements have been recorded, who have been accused of participating in this entire incident by the means of taking those girls to the Baba, and then also putting pressure on those girls that if at all they do not follow the orders of Swami Chaitanyanan, then they would fail in their exams and their careers would be destroyed. What police sources have also told us that the Baba used to pick and choose girls who belonged from the economical weaker sections of the society, because he knew that these girls have come in from a very weak background, and somewhere or the other they would not be able to garner the courage to go in front of the police raising these allegations, because they might fear that their careers might be destroyed. But finally, one of the administrators working inside the college itself, he went ahead and he gave that first complaint, post which all these women eventually came out and registered their version of their stories or ordeals in front of the police, post which this entire case has been made up. It is likely that more women victims could come up over the next few days, as as Swami Chaitanyanan was in fact at the helm of things over here for the past 10 years, and it is likely that he might have molested several other women as well, and hence the exact number is something that has not been given from the side of the police, but on sources we can confirm that at least 17 women have already registered their complaints. They have given their statements, and this number is likely to go up within the next few weeks as well.
Anshul, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. Let's listen into what the Delhi police had to tell us as well.
Joining me right now is ADCP Aishwarya Singh. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Ma'am, first of all, if you could just elaborate the timeline in which this entire incident had happened, and when was the first FIR registered by the police?
We received a complaint regarding sexual harassment by students studying in the Sharda Institute of Indian Management, and appropriate sections of BNS were used to register a case.
For how long was this alleged molestation happening inside the institute?
See, the investigation is still under process, so it will not be appropriate for me to give you the exact timeline, and we are proceeding as per law, and the investigation is going as per law.
There are three other people who have been named in terms of the statements that have been given, the women teacher who were in fact putting pressure on the students. So has action been taken against those teachers and staff as well?
See, statements are still being taken and the investigation is still ongoing, so it will not be appropriate for me to give you all the details, but we will proceed as per law and action will be taken against all accused.
Just the last question, ma'am. Any update on the previous investigation that was being done by the Delhi police on similar cases against the Swami? So any particular action that was taken by the police then?
See, investigation is still ongoing and it will not be appropriate for me to comment on.
Okay.
We have some information that's now trickling in. This is to do with the Karnataka High Court that has asked pointed questions against over caste census that the state government wants to undertake. During the hearing, the High Court asked Backward Classes Commission how the government identified these 1,500 odd castes and what the measures were followed for this caste classification. The High Court has also gone on to ask the state government to cite their reasons for obtaining Aadhaar numbers, and if the commission had set up, if the commission had the authority to set up these kind of measures or put these kind of measures in place. So these are some of those pointed questions that the Karnataka High Court is now asking the state government, questions that the BJP has been raising as well. Harish, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details on this. Harish, what exactly transpired during this particular hearing?
Well, the backward classes commission, the Karnataka government had a lot to answer in this hearing that is currently on at the Karnataka High Court. There were several questions asked on how the commission itself made up this list of 1,500 odd groups, what was the process, and also was there any sort of a consultation held. At one point in time, the judge even asked if there is a stay given by the Karnataka High Court, does it mean that the government will save on the rest of the money? Remember, the government has informed the court that they've already spent around 200 odd crores. Enumerators will be given 100 rupees per household. Not just that, there are concerns that the High Court has expressed that the Karnataka government and the Backward Classes Commission can't in this manner collect the other numbers, because there might be fear among people that it can be misused, to which the Karnataka government has responded saying that once the other number is feed into this particular system or this app, nobody gets access to it and it will be secure. But the High Court perhaps had some concerns about data security as well. The Karnataka High Court trying to convey to the Karnataka government, trying to convey to the High Court that this is necessary. The Supreme Court has said that if there has to be a reclassification, rejig in the reservation, then a census would be the ideal way to go ahead, and also for political reservations. So the Karnataka government trying its best to convey to the Karnataka High Court that all measures are in place. The process was followed. There is nothing to worry. But the Karnataka High Court wanted more details. What we are picking up right now, Poonam, is that this case has been adjourned. But there is a reason to worry for the Karnataka government, looking at the kind of questions and the stance taken by the Karnataka High Court during the hearing today.
Right. Do keep a track of what transpires in that, because we've seen a political war of words escalate between the Congress and the BJP over this caste census. Now that case coming up in the court as well. But for now, we'll shift focus to the big political story that we've been tracking here on CNN News 18. And that's the latest flashpoint in the ongoing Rahul Gandhi versus Election Commission face-off. In a recent interview, the leader of opposition and Congress member of parliament accused the government of undermining the integrity of India's electoral system. He said that his party's strategy revolves around mass mobilization against his. He also said that he's certain that huge parts of the country will not accept a rigged election. The BJP latched on to this interview. They questioned Rahul Gandhi's intentions. The BJP, in fact, argued that his remarks are an attack on the Indian state altogether, calling him dangerous for the country's democracy. After that, the Election Commission has now launched a new verification feature. We're given to understand that voter deletion can only happen now based on an Aadhaar-linked OTP on a mobile number. Rahul Gandhi then launched a fresh attack on the poll panel, asking why they are not submitting evidence to the CID in the Karnataka case.
कांग्रेस पार्टी की CWC मीटिंग चल रही है, CWC। पर आज के बाद कांग्रेस पार्टी को इसका नाम CWC से बदलकर BVC कर देना चाहिए। यह CWC नहीं है, यह BVC भारत विरोधी कमेटी है। और मैं ये इसलिए कह रहा हूं क्योंकि जब मैंने नेता प्रतिपक्ष राहुल गांधी का फाइनेंशियल टाइम्स में छपा हुआ एक उनके साथ संवाद है, इंटरव्यू है, जब उसको मैंने पढ़ा तो मुझे लगा कि ये कोई LOP, लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन, ये इस प्रकार के बयान दे, ये तो संभव नहीं है। हां, अगर LOP का मतलब लीडर ऑफ प्रोपेगेंडा और लीडर ऑफ पाकिस्तान है, तब तो यह संभव है कि इस प्रकार का इंटरव्यू फाइनेंशियल टाइम्स, एक विदेशी अखबार को दिया जाए कांग्रेस पार्टी के युवराज और शहजादे के द्वारा। राहुल गांधी ने विदेशी अखबार को बोला कि कांग्रेस की स्ट्रेटेजी है कि हम चुनाव आयोग और चुनावी प्रणाली की विश्वसनीयता के खिलाफ एक विरोध पैदा करेंगे, प्रमाण के आधार पर नहीं, नॉट ऑन बेसिस ऑफ प्रूफ बट ऑन बेसिस ऑफ प्रोपेगेंडा टू बी स्प्रेड अमंग्स द वाइडर पब्लिक। यह तो कन्फेशन है और सेल्फ डेटोनेशन है कि राहुल गांधी के पास कोई प्रमाण नहीं है, तो माहौल बनाना है। और भारत की चुनावी प्रणाली, पूरी दुनिया में जहां पर चुनावी प्रणाली का हमारा बजता है डंका, तो BVC, भारत विरोधी कांग्रेस, पैदा करना चाहती है शंका।
गांधी परिवार पर सवाल उठाते हैं जो 48 साल जेल में रहा जिनका परिवार। सवाल उठाने वाले लोग कम से कम अपने गिरेबान में झांक के देखें, अपने पुरखों के गिरेबान में झांक के देखें कि आजादी के आंदोलन में अंग्रेजों की चाटुकारिता और दलाली और मुखबिरी जिन लोगों ने की, वो आज की डेट में राहुल गांधी जी को और कांग्रेस पार्टी को ज्ञान दे रहे हैं, विमर्श कर रहे हैं। अरे एंटी कंट्री या एंटी देश तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी है। पहले अंग्रेजों के चरण में पड़े रहते थे और आज की डेट में डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के चरण में पड़े हुए, अमेरिका के चरण में पड़े हुए, समर्पण कर दिया है, चीन के चरण में पड़े हुए, अपनी विदेश नीति को गिरवी रख दिया है। अर्थव्यवस्था और अर्थनीति को गिरवी रख दिया है। ऐसे लोग कांग्रेस के ऊपर सवाल उठाएंगे। कांग्रेस के ऊपर सवाल उठाने से पहले भारतीय जनता पार्टी वालों अपने गिरेबान में झांक के देखो।
My colleague now joins us, getting us more details on this. Pallavi, as far as this interview of Rahul Gandhi is concerned, the BJP has latched on to it, but Rahul Gandhi is only doubling down on his attack on the Election Commission, isn't it?
You heard his press conference, which he did a short while back, and he's already done 2 earlier press conferences with a PPT to make the larger point that I'm going to be coming up with more, which is going to be a hydrogen bomb. And in fact, Jairam Ramesh also has said down. Look, I think Poonam has made his mind very, very clear that this is going to be his calling card. This is the narrative he is going to push forward in the days to come and leading up to the next Lok Sabha elections. He's often faced criticism over the fact that the Congress party has never been led to victory and he has been a complete failure. What he's trying to do is a kind of damage control to make the larger point. It's not that we failed in winning elections. It's just that the BJP has always stolen the elections. And if PM is becoming the Prime Minister for the 3rd time round, it's not that he's popular. It's just that we have an election commission which is compromised. You have an entire situation which is compromised. And as a result of which, this is a narrative which really needs to be pushed out. So I don't foresee any end, even if the Bihar elections are lost by the Mahagathbandhan and by the Congress party. I still don't think Rahul Gandhi is going to give up on this narrative because he'll use that to make the larger point. Look, I told you so. The SIR exercise was actually an attempt being made to subvert the electoral process, and this has been another case of vote chori.
And more allegations are going to come to the fore. There is going to be a plutonium bomb, says the Congress. We'll have to wait and watch as to what transpires in this Congress versus EC fight. But for the moment, Pallavi, thank you so much. Shifting focus now to a sweeping crackdown that's taking place on illegally imported luxury vehicles. Customs officials raided 30 locations across Kerala, including the homes of top Malayalam film stars, including Prithviraj Sukumaran and Dulquer Salman. Now, another actor, Amit Chaklal's car has also been seized. The operation led to the seizure of 36 high-end vehicles. It included 2 registered to Dulquer Salman. Authorities then said that these cars were being smuggled from Bhutan using 3 methods: dismantled as parts, hidden inside containers, or driven into India under the guise of tourist vehicles but never returned. The probe now targets a network of dealers and agents that are accused of bypassing these import duties and registration laws. Now, while celebrities may not be directly involved in this racket, the officials are scrutinizing ownership records and documentation.
പരിശോധനയിൽ ഉൾപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ളത് ദുൽഖർ സൽമാൻ പൃഥ്വിരാജിന്റെ വീട്ടിൽ ഒന്ന് നമ്മൾ പരിശോധന നടത്തി. അമിത് ചക്കാലക്കൽ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു നടനുണ്ട്, അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെയും വീട്ടിൽ ഒരു പരിശോധന നടത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഈ 3 നടന്മാരാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ തൽക്കാലം നമ്മുടെ റഡാറിൽ ഇന്ന് വന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഇവരുടെ എല്ലാം വാഹനങ്ങൾ എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് ടോട്ടൽ 36 വണ്ടികൾ എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതില് നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് കേരളത്തിൽ അങ്ങോളം ഇങ്ങോളം തിരുവനന്തപുരം മുതൽ തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത്, കോട്ടയത്ത്, അടിമാലി, കൊച്ചി, തൃശ്ശൂര്, മലപ്പുറം, കുറ്റിപ്പുറം, കോഴിക്കോട് തുടങ്ങിയ എല്ലാ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നും നമ്മൾ സെർച്ച് നടത്തി അവിടുന്ന് നമ്മൾ വണ്ടികൾ പിടികൂടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. പൃഥ്വിരാജിന്റെ വണ്ടികളൊന്നും നമ്മൾ എടുത്തിട്ടില്ല. നമ്മൾ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ്സ് നോക്കുന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ.
Neetu, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details. Neetu, so far we know that at least 3 Malayalam actors are under the radar of the customs officials. What is the latest on the investigation? Have they figured out who exactly is behind the racket? If any more actors could be on the radar of the agency as well?
See, it's not just about the actors. The customs had identified the racket or the group which was behind this. One such group was based in Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu district. It's from them that they have got this information. For the past 6 months, they have been investigating this, and according to their information, about 150 to 200 vehicles are like this are in the state of Kerala itself. Now, so far, Dulquer Salman or Prithviraj Sukumaran has not reacted to this, but the other actor, Mr. Chakalakil, has come out and said that only 1 vehicle of his has been seized, and that he has bought this at least from 7 to 8 people have used this before before him in India, and this has been there for at least 15 years in the country. According to the customs, for the past 2 years, these vehicles, luxury vehicles, have been smuggled in through this route. Now, what the customs has said is that as a next process, they will be sending summons to the actors. They will have to produce documents of the vehicles, and also their statement will be taken. Only after that they'll know whether they were aware of this or they were not aware. They were just buying this from the dealers. Now, 36 such luxury vehicles have been seized in the raids that have been conducted yesterday in the state of Kerala, across the state of Kerala, including these actors' houses. So the investigation is ongoing. Now, today, while another case was considered in the Kerala High Court, the judges asked the ED's counsel, while they were considering another PMLA case, whether the ED will be looking into this. ED's counsel had informed that they will be looking into this case also.
Right. Neetu, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. We will keep a track of that and much more here on Nation at 5. But for now, a quick break.
There is a latest flashpoint in the ongoing Rahul Gandhi versus Election Commission drama, where in a recent interview, Rahul Gandhi accused the government of undermining the integrity of India's electoral system. He said that his party's strategy revolves around mass mobilization against this. He also said that he is certain huge parts of the country will not accept a rigged election. The BJP wasted no time in firing back, questioning Gandhi's intentions. BJP leaders argued that his remarks are an attack on the Indian state, calling him, quote, dangerous for the country's democracy.
ये वही राहुल गांधी है जिसने कहा था कि वो इंडियन स्टेट के खिलाफ लड़ना चाहते हैं। क्या इसके बाद कोई प्रमाण चाहिए कि राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा भारत विरोधी और आंबेडकर जी के संविधान विरोधी है? ये एंटाइटल्ड, डायनेस्ट और नेपोकिड किस प्रकार से ईएमआई, इमरजेंसी मानसिकता ऑफ इंदिरा और एंटाइटल्ड मानसिकता का प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं? आज राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा साफ है, क्योंकि उनके आरोपों में कोई दम नहीं है। उनके सो कॉल्ड हाइड्रोजन बम की सुतली बम बनकर हवा निकल चुकी है। तो राहुल गांधी जी अब भारत की संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को सीधे सीधे चैलेंज करने का दावा कर रहे हैं। इसी को कहते हैं इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस नहीं, एंटी नेशनल कांग्रेस।
Let's now talk about this particular interview of Rahul Gandhi's that is given to Financial Times that is creating all this furor. So the first thing that he has gone on to say is that he has been noticing anomalies in the election system for a while now. He further says that the largest democracy, that is India, is under siege from systemic vote rigging. Further going on to claim that there is a centralized manipulation of voter rolls to steal the polls. He's pointing a direct finger at the ruling dispensation, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the NDA government. The guy at the top of the system, he says, has done it. So he accuses the Chief Election Commissioner for this entire thing, also in turn the Prime Minister. The party's strategy is to challenge the integrity of the electoral system. He's talking about what the Congress party is going to go and do from here on, challenging the integrity of electoral system, he says. And that is by public pressure. So these are the claims that were made in this particular interview by Rahul Gandhi. Now, after this interview, BJP is now tearing into the Congress, and this is what their line of attack is. Attack number one, proof of Rahul and Congress's anti-India agenda. This is what the Bharatiya Janata Party is claiming. The second attack is that this is a bid by the Congress Party and Rahul Gandhi to engineer distrust amongst the voters and the entire electoral system. He's trying to fish for some amount of discord, says the BJP. The third attack that the BJP is in fact pointing at the Congress Party is that the Indian National Congress, or as they term it, the Anti-National Congress. That is what the party stands for as per the BJP. The fourth attack, Rahul Gandhi is dangerous for India's democracy. They further go on to claim that all of this that Rahul Gandhi has said is a clear proof that he is against the Indian state. My colleague Pallavi Ghosh is now joining us on the broadcast. Pallavi, War of words obviously is ensuing, but the way BJP is going to take this attack forward, what has been the Congress's defense so far?
See, the Congress has been maintaining that we've given substantial proof. In fact, Rahul Gandhi has repeatedly made the point that I have done 2 press conferences, which have been a tell-all press conference with all the facts and figures. And I remember the last press conference, he said it very, very clearly that I have 100% bulletproof evidence to show that there indeed has been a compromise as far as the functioning of the Election Commission is concerned. And therefore, as far as the Congress is concerned and Rahul Gandhi per se are concerned, they don't think that they need to be apologetic. In fact, that's one main reason why they have refused to sign any kind of an affidavit, something which the Congress president also made a reference to a short while back in his opening speech. You know, the venue, choosing Patna, that's where his voter Adhikar Yatra ended. And also the fact is that Bihar elections are coming up. These are all multiple reasons why one realizes that at least in the Bihar elections, the voter Adhikar or the compromise by the Election Commission is going to be the core political issue for the Congress. For the BJP, in case they win the elections, they're going to look at it once and for all, Griha, a closure on these kind of allegations and narratives coming in from Rahul Gandhi.
Right, do stay on with us, Pallavi. We also have our colleague Payal Mehta now joining us. Payal, about BJP's line of attack. They are, in fact, centering that attack on Rahul Gandhi being anti-national, the Congress party being anti-national. And that is the way forward as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party's attack is concerned. The fact that they are trying to, in fact, suggest that Rahul Gandhi, by making these statements, is in fact making a statement that is completely anti-India. Where are they going with that argument?
Well, the BJP is of the belief that Griha, every time that Rahul Gandhi steps out of the country or probably, gives an international publication an interview like he did on this occasion, he is only and only speaking against the state, and that is completely, uncalled for, given the fact that you can be opposed to a political party, you can be opposed to an ideology, but why would we opposed to the countrymen? These are the same people, who voted his party to a figure of 99. Is he trying to undermine the intelligence of these voters as well? That's the question that the BJP really wants to ask. Saying that Rahul Gandhi has a habit of shooting and scooting, and basically that's exactly what's been the matter. Whether it came to the fact that he had to apologize on multiple occasions for making blasphemous comments against the Indian state as well. That's something which, of course, the BJP will be pulling up. And, of course, in a few minutes from now, Ravi Shankar Prasad, former Union Minister and senior leader of the BJP, will be taking on Rahul Gandhi as far as this is really concerned. And where is Rahul Gandhi going to stop? Where is he going to go with this? He's the same person who actually tried to, make allegations against the Prime Minister of corruption, when the Rafale issue took place, and then he had to eat humble pie. People of the country have chosen Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government to come into power for 3 times in a row. And the BJP is going to ask Rahul Gandhi, does he feel that vote rigging has happened even in elections like Himachal, Karnataka, or even Bengal for that matter, where one of the alliance partners of the opposition camps holds power for the last decade or so? That's the question that the BJP certainly will be asking, and they'll be pulling up Rahul Gandhi's comments in the past, where he's actually attacked institutions for no reason.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
There is a latest flashpoint in the ongoing Rahul Gandhi versus Election Commission drama, where in a recent interview, Rahul Gandhi accused the government of undermining the integrity of India's electoral system. He said that his party's strategy revolves around mass mobilization against this. He also said that he is certain huge parts of the country will not.
Welcome back to Nation at 5. The Karnataka High Court has pronounced its verdict on Platform X, formerly known as Twitter, and its plea challenging the central government's power under the IT Act to issue blocking orders. The High Court said that the Sahyog portal is for public good and that the contention that the social media platform had does not stand. The court went on to observe that the Sahyog portal is a mechanism through which the state aims to combat cybercrime and is much needed. The court also added that no social media platform shall consider Indian market as merely a playground, and that we're a society that are governed by laws, and every social media platform or giant like X that operates in India needs to follow the laws of the land. Ananya, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details. Ananya, this petition was filed by the social media giant after multiple takedown orders came to the fore from the Union IT Ministry, to which the Karnataka High Court has said that if you want to operate in India, then you must follow the laws of the land.
Well, absolutely, and this is in fact the pitch coming from the Karnataka High Court. Remember, this is a single judge bench of Justice M. Nagaprasanna, which has now passed down this particular detailed order as far as the ex-corp's petition, challenging the powers of the central government to issue blocking orders under the IT Act is concerned. And very categorically, the Karnataka High Court goes on to say that, social medias cannot treat Indian market as a mere playground. We are a society that's governed by laws, and while ex-corp, or formerly known as Twitter, used to follow, in fact, the regulatory regime in United States where it's born, it should also follow the same in India. Why is it that, it's not following the same in India? And that is exactly the pitch coming in from, in fact, the Karnataka High Court. Not only that, it has also praised the government Sahyog portals, going on to say that, it's a bridge between the citizens and, in fact, the intermediaries. It's an important tool that would help combat cybercrime for the central government, is what, in fact, the Karnataka High Court has gone on to say. And, Poonam, this order remains to be a very, very significant one, because we are into a regime, we are into the changing world of AI, and where social media platforms also become a very, very crucial part. Remember that ex-corp not only owns Twitter, but also is a part of one of the biggest AIs in the world, which is Grok AI, which it has brought in. And that is something, would require a lot of legal frameworks in the coming days. And this order could actually set the touching stone of those regulatory framework coming in, because the order very categorically states that, Indian market is not a playground. You have to abide by the rule of law. Article 19(1) is something that was sought, that was a defense that was sought by ex-corp. But it was very categorically told to ex-corp by the Karnataka High Court that that you're not a citizen of this country, and hence you cannot claim this right. And secondly, even Article 19(1), which is with regards to freedom of speech and expression, also comes with reasonable restrictions under Article 19(2), and that is something that needs to be abided by, and hence rule of law is something that needs to be followed, whether it's Twitter or any other social media platform, is what the Karnataka High Court has gone on to say. The detailed judgment would be out tomorrow, so we'll get to know more and more observations that the Karnataka High Court has made as far as social media giants are concerned.
Right, Ananya, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. Pawan Dugal, an advocate with the Supreme Court and an expert on cybersecurity and cyber law, now joins us as well. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. How significant, in your opinion, is this verdict that has come to the fore from the Karnataka High Court?
I think its significance can hardly be overstated. This does not come in as any surprise to me, who has, as an expert, being involved in the formulation of the IT Act in the year 2000, and who have been actually working in the different nuances of the IT Act. Look, when you are going ahead and challenging a legal proposition, you must have solid grounds. And the solid grounds must be in sync with what the principles are enshrined in the constitution of the country. Now, once you are saying that, look, the central government does not have the ability to go ahead and block any kind of any information or tweets, you are effectively treading on very thin ice. Why? Because in our country, the fundamental right of freedom of speech and expression is not an absolute right. It is a relative right, and it is subject to certain reasonable restrictions that can be imposed under Article 19(2) of the Constitution of India, in the interest of sovereignty, security, integrity of India, friendly relations with other nations, public order, decency, morality, or to prevent the commission of any cognizable offense. So you as a service provider, you as an intermediary, cannot be the sole arbiter or the judge to decide that, look, according to me, the central government has erred in trying to block. Look, you are a mere intermediary. Please go and fulfill the limited ambit of your role that's been given as an intermediary under Section 21W of the IT Act. Under the IT Act, the law is very clear. If you're a network service provider, if you're an intermediary, you do not have to have any kind of, shall I say, judgment or decision making to say, according to me, this is correct, according to me, this is not correct. Why? because you're a service provider. You're not even located in the country. Therefore, you cannot be the adjudicator to find out whether a particular provision or a particular blocking is bad in the eyes of law or not. So I'm not at all surprised. What the Karnataka High Court has actually said is nothing but reiteration of what the Supreme Court said in the landmark case of Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, upholding the constitutional validity of the various provisions of the IT Act, including the then Section 69 and 69A of the IT Act. Something similar has now come in, except the year is different. The Shreya Singhal was 2015. This is 2025. And now the Karnataka High Court is only reiterating what the existing law of the land is. I think service providers and intermediaries must really focus on trying to get their statutory exemption from legal liability and not really go ahead in the direction of trying to challenge the powers of the government to block. I think the powers to block is an integral part of the sovereign power.
And speaking of those powers, that's something, Mr. Duggal, that this social media giant platform X, formerly Twitter, had an issue with. In fact, they did cite the Shreya Singhal ruling as well, going on to talk about this one particular clause that does not give you safe harbor anymore if you fail to take down any of these unlawful content. That's something that the Karnataka High Court also upheld.
Please understand, this is, within my humble opinion, a misreading of the law. The law is very clear. If you look at Section 79 of the Information Technology Act 2000, these intermediaries are required to fulfill 4 conditions. First, they comply with the IT Act and rules and regulations. Number 2, they exercise due diligence while they discharge their obligations under the law. Number 3, they do not conspire or abet in the commission of any offense. Number 4, once called upon to remove or disable access, they do that expeditiously without vitiating the original electronic evidence in any manner whatsoever. It's only once all these 4 conditions are going to be fulfilled will the service provider or the social media giant be entitled to the statutory exemption from legal liability. Now, in this particular case, you do not have the ability to go and challenge that, look, that once you ask me to block and I don't block, therefore my exemption goes. The exemption in any case goes thanks to the provisions of Section 79 of the IT Act. So what the Karnataka High Court has said has only reiterated the established law of the land. Unfortunately, what's happening is that the service providers want to take the benefit of the cherry on the cake, but yet do not want to do the bare minimum necessary that's required to be done by them. Look, either if you want to provide your services in the country, comply with the law. You're not satisfied with the law, go and challenge the law. But the law is already well settled by the Supreme Court in terms of upholding the constitutional validity of Section 79 of the Information Technology Act 2000. And if that is the case, reiterating, re-agitating it on one pretext or the other is not going to lead to a different result. Mind you, you had only gone to Karnataka High Court. Karnataka High Court is also duty-bound to follow the law of the land, which is the law laid down by the Supreme Court. And once the law is laid down by the Supreme Court on Section 79 of the IT Act in Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, it's going to be hard to argue that, oh, Supreme Court was wrong in 2050. Why? Because now the need for intermediaries and social media giants to assist the sovereign government to go ahead and pull down content which is in violation of the sovereignty, security, integrity of India, I think it becomes even more topical and relevant. So I believe
absolutely, and we're talking about cyber crime as well, and that's something that the Karnataka High Court did speak of, that the Sayog portal also does ensure that we can combat cyber crime effectively, which is why it's extremely important for it to not be done away or for any attack for any company to make on this Sayog portal.
Please understand, a foreign company not having an office in India cannot dictate the Indian government to say, hey guys, this portal is bad, your this approach is bad. It's like, backseat driving in a car. You'll have to realize that if you want to operate in India, then you'll have to comply with Indian law. You cannot really complain about Indian law.
And that message has been sent out loud and clear by several courts in the country, including the Karnataka High Court today. Pawan Duggal, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Shifting focus now, US President Donald Trump at the United Nations General Assembly accused India and China of fueling Russia's war by continuing to purchase Russian oil. He warned that if Russia refuses to negotiate peace, the United States would impose strong tariffs. He also called on European Union to halt all imports from Russia. Trump then demanded release of hostages held by Hamas, condemning recent recognitions of Palestinian statehood. He claimed it was a reward for terrorism. In a separate meeting, we saw Ukrainian President Zelensky rebuke Donald Trump's remarks, saying that India is largely supportive of Ukraine despite its energy challenges. Meanwhile, India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, who is in the United States, highlighted India's plans to boost its energy trade with the United States, also speaking about India's talent pool helping the United States grow.
7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. I ended 7 wars, and in all cases they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. China and India are the primary funders of the ongoing war by continuing to purchase Russian oil. But inexcusably, even NATO countries have not cut off much Russian energy and Russian energy products.
Now, while the US President attacked India at the United Nations for funding the Russian war machine, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky defended New Delhi. He called it a key ally, urging Europe to deepen tie, not retreat. He even noted that China is more of a challenge. Now, Zelensky's message was clear that isolating India would be a mistake, that India, despite its energy challenges, seems to be in Ukraine's corner.
China, India, they're all contributing here. European nations, the president said, need to get off oil, but need to do it with the U.S. Do you think that that is going to happen?
I think Iran will never be on our side because we'll never be on the side of the United States. I think India mostly with us. Yes, we had these questions with energy, but I think that President Trump can manage it with Europeans, make more close and strong relations with India. And I think we have to do everything not to withdraw Indians, and they will change their attitude to Russian energy sector, I'm sure. With China, it's more difficult because it's not, for today, it's not in their interest to not to support Russia.
Now, India and United States are deepening ties. We have the External Affairs Minister of India, S. Jaishankar, who is in New York. He met with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio 24 hours ago. After that meeting, Marco Rubio has said that Washington hopes to fix tensions with India over sanctions that are linked to Russian oil imports. Remember, United States and the Trump administration had decided to levy 25% additional tariffs on India for its continued Russian oil purchase. Speaking on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, Marco Rubio drew a contrast between India's purchases from Russia and Europe's continued dependence on Russian energy.
You know, right now there are countries in Europe that are still buying massive amounts of oil and natural gas from Russia, which is absurd. I mean, they're asking for the U.S. to impose more sanctions, but there are countries in Europe that are not doing enough. So I think they need to do more. You know, we've already seen the measures we've taken with regards to India, although that's something we hope we can fix. But and the president has the ability to do more, and he's considering doing more because of the direction this is taken.
Now, India and the United States, like I said, are strengthening ties. We've seen a thaw after a frosty relationship over the last 3 months over these tariffs with a phone call between US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Modi. And that is now being taken forward with in-person visits by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, who is also in the United States. During his visit, Piyush Goyal highlighted that India is looking to increase trade with the United States, especially in the energy sector.
The world recognizes that this is one area where we all have to work together. India is a big player in the energy field, as Pankaj just mentioned. We are big importers of energy from across the world, including from the US. We expect to increase our trade with the US on energy products in the years to come. And being close friends, natural partners, our energy security goals will have a very high element of US involvement. which will ensure price stability, which will ensure diversified sources of energy for India, and help us unlock limitless possibilities with the US on various fronts, energy and beyond.
On that note, it's time for a quick break on this edition of Nation at 5. The news and updates continue on CNN News 18. Do stay tuned.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
There is a latest flashpoint in the ongoing Rahul Gandhi versus Election Commission drama, where in a recent interview, Rahul Gandhi accused the government of undermining the integrity of India's electoral system. He said that his party's strategy revolves around mass mobilization against this. He also said that he is certain huge parts of the country will not accept a rigged election. The BJP wasted no time in firing back, questioning Gandhi's intentions. BJP leaders argued that his remarks are an attack on the Indian state, calling him, quote, dangerous for the country's democracy.
ये वही राहुल गांधी है जिसने कहा था कि वो इंडियन स्टेट के खिलाफ लड़ना चाहते हैं। क्या इसके बाद कोई प्रमाण चाहिए कि राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा भारत विरोधी और आंबेडकर जी के संविधान विरोधी है? ये एंटाइटल्ड, डायनेस्ट और नेपोकिड किस प्रकार से ईएमआई, इमरजेंसी मानसिकता ऑफ इंदिरा और एंटाइटल्ड मानसिकता का प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं? आज राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा साफ है, क्योंकि उनके आरोपों में कोई दम नहीं है। उनके सो कॉल्ड हाइड्रोजन बम की सुतली बम बनकर हवा निकल चुकी है। तो राहुल गांधी जी अब भारत की संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को सीधे सीधे चैलेंज करने का दावा कर रहे हैं। इसी को कहते हैं इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस, नहीं, एंटी नेशनल कांग्रेस।
Let's now talk about this particular interview of Rahul Gandhi's that is given to Financial Times that is creating all this furor. So the first thing that he has gone on to say is that he has been noticing anomalies in the election system for a while now. He further says that the largest democracy, that is India, is under siege from systemic vote rigging. Further going on to claim that there is a centralized manipulation of voter rolls to steal the polls. He's pointing a direct finger at the ruling dispensation, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the NDA government. The guy at the top of the system, he says, has done it. So he accuses the Chief Election Commissioner for this entire thing, also in turn the Prime Minister. The party's strategy is to challenge the integrity of the electoral system. He's talking about what the Congress party is going to go and do from here on, challenging the integrity of electoral system, he says. And that is by public pressure. So these are the claims that were made in this particular interview by Rahul Gandhi. Now, after this interview, BJP is now tearing into the Congress, and this is what their line of attack is. Attack number one: proof of Rahul and Congress's anti-India agenda. This is what the Bharatiya Janata Party is claiming. The second attack is that this is a bid by the Congress Party and Rahul Gandhi to engineer distrust amongst the voters and the entire electoral system. He's trying to fish for some amount of discord, says the BJP. The third attack that the BJP is in fact pointing at the Congress Party is that the Indian National Congress, or as they term it, the Anti-National Congress. That is what the party stands for as per the BJP. The fourth attack: Rahul Gandhi is dangerous for India's democracy. They further go on to claim that all of this that Rahul Gandhi has said is a clear proof that he is against the Indian state. My colleague Pallavi Ghosh is now joining us on the broadcast. Pallavi, war of words obviously is ensuing, but the way BJP is going to take this attack forward, what has been the Congress's defense so far?
See, the Congress has been maintaining that we've given substantial proof. In fact, Rahul Gandhi has repeatedly made the point that I have done 2 press conferences, which have been a tell-all press conference with all the facts and figures. And I remember the last press conference, he said it very, very clearly that I have 100% bulletproof evidence to show that there indeed has been a compromise as far as the functioning of the Election Commission is concerned. And therefore, as far as the Congress is concerned and Rahul Gandhi per se are concerned, they don't think that they need to be apologetic. In fact, that's one main reason why they have refused to sign any kind of an affidavit, something which the Congress president also made a reference to a short while back in his opening speech. You know, the venue, choosing Patna, that's where his voter Adhikar Yatra ended. And also the fact is that Bihar elections are coming up. These are all multiple reasons why one realizes that at least in the Bihar elections, the voter Adhikar or the compromise by the Election Commission is going to be the core political issue for the Congress. For the BJP, in case they win the elections, they're going to look at it once and for all, Griha, a closure on these kind of allegations and narratives coming in from Rahul Gandhi.
Right, do stay on with us, Pallavi. We also have our colleague Payal Mehta now joining us. Payal, about BJP's line of attack. They are, in fact, centering that attack on Rahul Gandhi being anti-national, the Congress party being anti-national. And that is the way forward as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party's attack is concerned. The fact that they are trying to, in fact, suggest that Rahul Gandhi, by making these statements, is in fact making a statement that is completely anti-India. Where are they going with that argument?
Well, the BJP is of the belief that Griha, every time that Rahul Gandhi steps out of the country or probably, gives an international publication an interview like he did on this occasion, he is only and only speaking against the state, and that is completely, uncalled for, given the fact that you can be opposed to a political party, you can be opposed to an ideology, but why would we opposed to the countrymen? These are the same people, who voted his party to a figure of 99. Is he trying to undermine the intelligence of these voters as well? That's the question that the BJP really wants to ask. Saying that Rahul Gandhi has a habit of shooting and scooting, and basically that's exactly what's been the matter. Whether it came to the fact that he had to apologize on multiple occasions for making blasphemous comments against the Indian state as well. That's something which, of course, the BJP will be pulling up. And, of course, in a few minutes from now, Ravi Shankar Prasad, former Union Minister and senior leader of the BJP, will be taking on Rahul Gandhi as far as this is really concerned. And where is Rahul Gandhi going to stop? Where is he going to go with this? He's the same person who actually tried to, make allegations against the Prime Minister of corruption, when the Rafale issue took place, and then he had to eat humble pie. People of the country have chosen Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government to come into power for 3 times in a row. And the BJP is going to ask Rahul Gandhi, does he feel that vote rigging has happened even in elections like Himachal, Karnataka, or even Bengal for that matter, where one of the alliance partners of the opposition camps holds power for the last decade or so? That's the question that the BJP certainly will be asking, and they'll be pulling up Rahul Gandhi's comments in the past, where he's actually attacked institutions for no reason.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
There is a latest flashpoint in the ongoing Rahul Gandhi versus Election Commission drama, where in a recent interview, Rahul Gandhi accused the government of undermining the integrity of India's electoral system. He said that his party's strategy revolves around mass mobilization against this. He also said that he is certain huge parts of the country will not accept a rigged election. The BJP wasted no time in firing back, questioning Gandhi's intentions. BJP leaders argued that his remarks are an attack on the Indian state, calling him, quote, dangerous for the country's democracy.
ये वही राहुल गांधी है जिसने कहा था कि वो इंडियन स्टेट के खिलाफ लड़ना चाहते हैं। क्या इसके बाद कोई प्रमाण चाहिए कि राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा भारत विरोधी और आंबेडकर जी के संविधान विरोधी है? ये एंटाइटल्ड, डायनेस्ट और नेपोकिड किस प्रकार से ईएमआई, इमरजेंसी मानसिकता ऑफ इंदिरा और एंटाइटल्ड मानसिकता का प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं? आज राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा साफ है, क्योंकि उनके आरोपों में कोई दम नहीं है। उनके सो कॉल्ड हाइड्रोजन बम की सुतली बम बनकर हवा निकल चुकी है। तो राहुल गांधी जी अब भारत की संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को सीधे सीधे चैलेंज करने का दावा कर रहे हैं। इसी को कहते हैं इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस नहीं, एंटी नेशनल कांग्रेस।
Let's now talk.
Thank you so much for staying with us. After more than 60 years in service, the Indian Air Force is set to retire its iconic MiG-21 fighter jets. The final farewell will be held on the 26th of September at Air Force Station in Chandigarh, where the first squadron was based. Chief of Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh, will lead a flypast on the last day of the MiG-21 service. The aircraft has trained generations of IAF pilots, including the Air Chief Marshal himself.
The MiG-21, the sentinel of our skies. For 60 years, it has guarded the nation, training our warriors, testing their courage, and triumphing in battle. A machine of steel, flown with unmatched spirit. The Chief of the Air Staff, joined by Squadron Leader Priya, honors this legacy with a commemorative sortie. Swift, fearless, enduring. Every mission, every landing. A chapter of courage written into history. A legend bows out, saluted by generations. The MiG-21 departs, but its legacy will always remain.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi's interview to Financial Express has sent ripples across the political circles, with the Congress leader dropping the Congress's prime strategy, laying bare the intent to use mass mobilization of people on the ground to fight their vote chori campaign. But to what end? Is he attempting another street protest that effectively works as a coup against an elected government, but does precious little